the more dimension or depth there is to my experiences, the harder they can be to bring out in words. The deeper I go into the experience, the more unlike the standard physical reality experience it is. Every now and again, I have an experience that exceeds the subconscious. These experiences will include the physical, etheric, astral, or conscious and subconscious, but they will also begin to include hints of the superconscious. This is sort of how I gauge, quote, where I am in a particular experience, whether I'm in the physical, etheric, astral, soul plane, or spirit plane, by how many layers within the experience I'm able to consciously detect and am clearly experiencing. Not last night, but the night before last. Extraordinary. I had an extraordinary experience that went as deep as the soul plane level of the superconscious. These are challenging to depict because often I'm aware of what's happening in the physical reality or vision field, the etheric reality or vision field, the astral reality and vision field, and simultaneously that soul level reality. And I've not even come close to knowing how to word this in a simultaneous fashion. In the past, I've attempted to give descriptions of each layer in a linear fashion, one at a time, describing what was happening in my physical reality, then describing what was happening on the subsequent layers. And although this can give an idea of what's happening, it can open the consciousness a bit to begin to include more layers of awareness. It just barely does it justice. It just barely radiate to you what's happening in me experientially. But what happened the other night was I visited my 4 bodies. I I was taken by what I would call my soul into a place where I could visit, tour, and experience the 4 vehicles that I'm experiencing my various multiple realities through. I have not seen them since they were created and I entered this physical life here now. And so what I felt revisiting them is barely wordable. Awe, joy, utter delight, privileged, when the superconscious enters the experiences that I've been having, there is a vision field. There is. But I'm not principally aware of it. The experience, to me, my awareness is almost fully focused on the pure feeling of it. And this pure feeling is happening simultaneously in this experience that I'm relaying, in combination with the astral environment visual field where I experienced this in a sort of car dealership. And management was here, friends were here. I had awareness of having been here before, but not let in to see the vehicles. And this time I was. I was taken first in to see the first vehicle. And the most extraordinary part about this were the doors leading in. I had awareness of myself having constructed them special. And it's very hard to describe. Visually, they were breathtakingly gorgeous. White, there were 4 segments, but without hinges or crevices or anything like this, like what we would normally think of as a door. I just stood in awe over them and delighted in this feeling. of standing here before them once again directly. And even though the main visual was an astral environment where I was seeing common mundane things, again, it was happening with the full awareness of what was happening. And again, this extraordinary superconscious feeling. I suppose it's what we experience on a soul level. Even over what we would consider mundane. It's experienced at that level in such an amazing way. Just such an amazing way. I remember speaking with the manager and explaining that it had been so long since I'd actually seen the vehicles, and asked if I could tour them. And as they were readying the vehicles for tour, I was speaking with a friend about how I came to acquire them and various other details associated with them. I remember two things in particular. I could very clearly see how close the vehicle dealership was to my dad's house, to where I came to live the majority of my life here in this lifetime. And I had awareness, more awareness at the time of this actual event than I do right now, more than I actually bring forward, into my physical reality to write down and become clear on. But the way I had acquired the bodies for this lifetime had to do with a battle in management. Management on a superconscious or spirit and soul plane level. So something was happening in harmonics 3 and 4 that was at odds. And because of this that was at odds, and I don't know details here, I came to be embodied in this lifetime. I'm sure more will bleed through for me. As the New Year's approaches, I'm beginning to get a clearer and clearer picture about what will be happening for me, what I will be moved through experientially in the coming year. And a lot of this has to do with the superconscious, subconscious, and conscious merging, if not wholly, to a particular degree. And I'm seeing the changes in my visual field as this happens. It seems as though beings on the multiple planes are becoming visible to me in this layer of physical, etheric, and astral reality. And I'll go into this as it becomes more and more manifest, hopefully, in the coming weeks.